Hey everybody, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is part 4 of the 4AGE rebuild. On part 1 through 3, I basically reassembled the short block here. So I'll show you how far that progress is. So I assembled the whole rotating assembly, the pistons, the crankshaft, the oil pan, the oil pump I've installed here too, and also the rear seal right there too, also installed that. So this is what you call pretty much the short block. In this video, hopefully I will be able to install the water pump and then the head, and that should be pretty much it for the assembly of a whole 4AGE motor to get it going here, to get it running basically. But yeah, we'll see how it goes here. I am going to be using RP head studs here also for this build, and I'm going to be using new water pump, which is this brand here, the Aston water pump here. Also a refurbished or rebuilt 4AGE small port head. I got this one on eBay here. Basically I just returned I gave them my old head and I got a new head here. I'm not going to replace the valves or anything like that because that's all been replaced there. So I'm just going to plop this onto the motor here, make it real nice and easy, and end up becoming cheaper than taking my old head to the machine shop to get it redone basically. And then I'm going to be using again the gaskets that was provided to me from Flows. The brand is Itm Gaskets. It's not necessarily OEM, but at the time when I bought this, OEM was out of stock. So just got to work with what you got. So yeah, that'll be it for hopefully this video. We'll see how it goes. First thing I'm going to do is prep my water pump here. So I'll show y'all here so y'all can see how it is. So yeah, let's get this started here. So I'm just going to unpack all this stuff here too here. Alright, so here's a brand new water pump housing. Wow, it came with the whole housing. That is pretty impressive. Even comes with gaskets too in the Aston water pump here too. So some of the water pumps that I've actually bought only just came with just this part, this front half. It doesn't come with the rear housing part. So this is a pretty good buy that I did. I don't think I paid a whole lot of money, maybe $100 for this, which isn't too bad at all. So yeah, let's just open this guy up. I'm impressed with this, holy cow. I think I got lucky. Okay, and even comes with studs here too. The previous water pump I've had before in the past didn't have these studs here too. So yeah, that's pretty good. Shoot, good find, good find. It even has extra bolts here too, so I am impressed. I got very lucky. Alright. Nice little find there. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this all up here. So take this one out. I should probably put it here. It's kind of dirty, honestly, from scraping off the gaskets. So I'm going to put this on top, just like so here. And then here is the gaskets that come with it too. So yeah, you got everything that you need to reassemble or put in the water pump here. So I'm going to set that up here. It's even in Japanese too, so super JDM, OEM quality. So it comes with all the O-rings and stuff that's needed. First thing I'm going to do is put this big O-ring in the block here. So this is the O-ring that goes to the back of the water pump, which is this guy right here. And there's an O-ring groove in the block where I'll show you where I put it at. And then you can assemble this guy into the back here too here. So yeah, that is awesome. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get that going here. Let me go ahead and move this guy over here. So yeah, so we're gonna move. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna put the O-ring. So you're gonna put the O-ring right here in this little slot. So just make sure that the old O-ring is removed out because it does get sandwiched in here. And this is where the back of the water pump is going to go to. So yeah, let's go ahead and move the camera here so y'all can see what I'm talking about and see hopefully how it goes in. There you go. There you guys can. Oh, oops, dropped my GoPro. Great. Hopefully it's good. Here, let me go clean this off here too. Here a bit. There you go. All right. At least my GoPro's still good. Okay, it's an old GoPro Hero 4. Got it like probably 6 years ago now, but it still works just fine for me, so that's all I need to do. Alright, so yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put this O-ring in here. Technically, it doesn't say to use lube or anything like that, so I'm not going to. It just goes in nicely like so. There you go. Just like that there. Perfect. Alright, so the O-ring's in. I'm going to look at my phone here for the instructions on the water pump install. So place new O-ring and then install the water pump with the 3 bolts. So it doesn't say exactly what bolts, but I'm just using off the SQ Engineering manual website here. So yeah, I'm going to do that there. So install water pump with the 3 bolts. Okay. So my suspicion is these 3 bolts that come with it, on this one at least, it's these 3 bolts you have to put the water pump in. So I guess it makes sense there. Awesome. So it basically just mounts up like so here, I believe. There we go here. So I see it now. Okay, so these 3 bolts actually that came with the water pump is the one that actually mounts or bolts to the back here, to this back housing. Then the extra holes here, basically the 1, 2, and 3 here, is the one that actually bolts to the actual block. So I have to get that here first. So I'm gonna get that going here. The thing is that also it does come with the water pump here too. Here, and I think this one I have to double check, but I'm gonna go pop this open to make sure there's a gasket in here. I don't think there is a gasket here because you're supposed to put a gasket in between here. So I'm gonna check that right now here. So let's just see here that gasket. If I can get it here, I'm gonna use a 3mm or a 10mm socket here. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm gonna use a 10mm socket to remove this just to check the housing. Make sure there's a gasket here. If not, I have the gasket for it too, so I ain't worried about it because I'm a gasket kit. It comes with it. Let me move it over here so y'all can see here better. There we go. I'll move it down here. Move this into the side here. Put it right here. There you go. Alright, so let's just see here where that gasket goes here. So 10mm bolts here. And I left my power tools at the warehouse, so I want to be using this the old-fashioned way. Alright. And then, yeah. Okay, so, and I forgot where, I don't even know where I put my phone now. Oh well. We're live. We're doing this. Okay, so it's a 10mm. So here we go. Oops, easy. There you go, so that's loose. That's loose too. And then that's loose too here. Alright. And then let's just remove all these bolts here first. So it comes with these nice little new spare bolts here, which is awesome. I'll be using that here. It just doesn't come with the bolts for the block, but that's okay. But I got hella lucky on this. I was not expecting an actual housing too with this. This is a really good find. I remember my old one didn't even come with the housing. It only just came with the pump. Oh, there we go. So it does have the gasket inside here too already in here. So there's the gasket. So what I'm gonna do here is just put this back in, but just to show you what it looks like though. So this is the back of the housing, and then this is the propeller. So yeah, and this is the actual gasket. So it actually comes with the gasket here. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, all you basically just put the gasket in between here, and then you put it back up here like so. So yeah, that is awesome. Hell yeah. So nice little find. So what I'm gonna do here now is just put the screws or the bolts back onto the holes where it came from here, and then yeah, do that. They're here. Okay. And then like so here. So there you go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Goes in like so. Okay. So there you go. Bolts are back into place here. All right. Sweet. All right. So that's, there you go. Here's the bolts here too here. All right. So this is all nice and tight. It does have the gasket in here. That is awesome. All right. Everything is all good here. Yes, it is. Alright, sweet. Alright, so it does have the gaskets. Now I'm going to get the bolts for the block here that goes to the water pump, which I do have here. Let's just get it out here first. Alright, so this is the old water pump here too here. Put this right back here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me just make sure if y'all can see that in the video here. Yes, you can here. Oh, it's sweet. Alright, sweet, 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 sweet. Okay. So, here's the bolts. This is from my old water pump here too here. This is my old water pump. You can tell it's still looking pretty good. So this is the one from the blown 4AG motor. Still good and everything. And this is also from the original housing too that came with it. So yeah, that's what it looks like here. And I got the bolts here for it too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those bolts here. It's good to always, you know, kind of keep everything all intact and in a nice separate container and all that good stuff here. And I also have my extra timing gear and all that good stuff here too also for it. So yeah, I'll be back here. And here's the bolts for my, that goes onto the block here too here. So pull those out here for a second and then just arrange it here. Here we go. This is my fuel injector, my fuel pump here. So that's all, everything that you needed here for the fuel stuff. The injectors are Honda Civic injectors, so if y'all want these, I'll just give them to you. I don't use that at all. So then this is the original bolts here, I believe here, but I think I'm missing one though, I think. Uh-oh. Well, we'll just mock it up ever so slightly. Alright, so you got these bolts here. Basically, they go to the block like so. You can tell whenever you push this on the block here, there'll be 3 bolts here. I know one goes here, which is this guy. Another one goes here. And then the other one, I think, is down here too here. So I'm missing the other long bolt, which is okay, because I think I can find a spare one here possibly, my spare bolt kits, but I don't think I have it right now. Unfortunately, doesn't look like I do here. No big deal. Like I said, I do have, excuse me, my other spare bolts here too here. In the warehouse. So I'm just gonna put 2 bolts in, just kind of put it in there nicely. It's not gonna be completely intact, but oh well. Call it a day, really. Yeah, I don't have the other spare bolt. Shoot, I'm trying to look for it, but I can't find the spare bolt there for it. Dang it. Oh well. That's why I have the other block and bolts here too here, so it's not in here. Sigh. Alright, so I left that spare bolt in the warehouse. It's okay though. It'll survive. Nice to know that I came with that spare, with the extra stuff there too. That's really, really nice. Okay. Asking for the win, you know? Yeah, I don't see any. Alright, well, that's a technical difficulty. Unfortunately, we don't have it here. Looking through my stuff here, just making sure I leave it here somewhere, but yeah, it's not in there. Okay. Let's just see what you here. On this side, my spare stuff here. Oh, you know what? I bet you the bolt is this one here too. Okay. Well, I got spare ones. I think this will work. Yeah, they all work here. Alright, well, I think this works. So, bam. And then, bam. Sweet. Okay. See, that's why I got spare bolts. So, that is awesome. Okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet. This is the bolts from the water pump box I got that I did bring with me. Okay, sweet, found it. And they're all the same size except for this small guy here, I think. Let's see here. Oh, this is a 10. Let's see here. Oh, this is 12s. Okay, so 10, 12s. Okay, well, I'll just make do with that. You can tell here, technically, this bolt's a little bit longer. Let's see here, they're all 10s here though. No, they're all 12s here also here. So what I'm gonna do here is probably just use these bolts right here. I think that'll be the best bet because those are 10s. So I'm gonna leave this over here instead here. And I know these two bolts are slightly longer, but that's okay. I think it's not gonna affect the block at all. So I'm gonna get my 12 mil here. Put up my 10 and then put this on here. So the bolts basically go here, here, and then here. This small one there too. So we'll do with that there too shortly. So let's do that and just kind of put them on there nicely. So I'm gonna go put the water pump assembly on this side here. So y'all can see here too. I'm gonna start moving it again here, and go this side here. If I can move it around here nicely here. Okay, there you go. All right, so there we go here. There you go. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna put this water pump in here. And again, I don't have my impacts or anything. I'm going to do this all by hand. And it says to torque to 11 foot-pounds, but 11 foot-pounds to me is probably just good enough by hand. So you install the pump like this, alright, and it kind of goes in one certain way, so yeah. What I'm going to do here is put this guy in here first. Okay. Alright, so I'm just hand tying it here first. You don't want to cinch everything up just yet because you know you have the gaskets, and I know with the rubber gaskets or any gaskets in general, once you tighten everything down and it's okay, that looks like it works there too here. But I'm gonna do is put this one over here instead here. No, I'm good here. Just like so here, and this one goes in here. And I found my paint pen too, so yeah, we'll be able to mark things down, make sure everything's all tightened and everything else here. So, all right, so we're good here. Everything's kind of hand tightened or hand threaded. Now I'm gonna use my 12 mil here to tighten everything down here. All right. Okay, so that's kind of snug there. I'm gonna take it easy, because like I said, you don't be rushing and then, you know, run into issues afterwards here. Okay, oh, the little light died here. Let me go ahead and put on that there. There we go. Okay. Nice and tight right here. Okay, so that's nice and tight. That's also, oh, this is kind of, I'm going to change this one out to like the smaller bolt here, I think that would be better. Let me see here. Just to be on the safe side, I think I am going to use a smaller bolt on the bottom one, just because I don't want to risk damaging the block. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, technically they're supposed to be the same size bolts, but oh well. What I'm going to do here is do complete opposite here. I'm only doing the bottom bolt to a little bit shorter one in the length, just because to me right now it just feels like it's kind of getting tight, but there's a little gap between the bolt and the actual housing. It's not that noticeable, but just to be on the safe side, what I'm going to do here is just get the new one here out of the, just use a smaller or shorter length bolt basically for the bottom part of the housing. And I think that's true because, oh, there's a little hole here. Oh, nice, never mind. There's a little hole here. Okay, let me show you guys a little hole. I think we're good here then. Haha. Okay, so looks like on the back of the bolt here, like this is the one I was talking about, was like I was worried about this bolt might be a little bit too long in length. But if you look back here, there's like a little hole back here where the bolt can actually go out through. So we're good. So I'm gonna tighten up this guy here again and then call it a day. But you can see it's bolt there and bolt there on that side there. So yeah, there you go. These bolts connect to the block here, right there. And then the other ones, the newer bolts, basically cinch up the water pump there really nicely. So yeah, that's it there. Let me go ahead and tighten up this guy again here. And then once it's like nice and hand tight, we'll go ahead and do the other deal here too here. So yeah, see, we're all learning here. It's all a little process all together. You know, hopefully, you know, y'all will learn something. Okay, so it's nice and tight there here. It's hella tight, okay. Alright, so it's tight. Nice hand tightening. Again, hand tight this. It says 11 foot-pound, but I'm not going to honestly torque it. I think hand tight is just good enough. You don't want to force it in. I think if you do that, then you end up snapping things, and that's not good. So yeah, just hand tight is good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those with a paint pen here, saying that I did tighten up that part there. And then we'll tighten up the rest of the stuff here too here. So here's the paint pen. I'm going to go ahead and do that there here where I mark off the two big bolts here that I did already. So yeah. Okay, there we go. That's it there. Sweet. And then I notice the paint pen markings doesn't stick that well though. Okay, so some of them easily fades away. That's okay. Alright, so marked off the bolts here. Now I'm gonna tighten up the other 3 bolts here. So let's do that here. So I'm gonna just tighten up these guys with a 10 mil socket, a 10 mil nut here, a socket. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna make it nice and tight here. Okay. All right, nice and tight. All right. Okay, so nice and tight there. So you can see here, it's all hand tightened. Nope, the light also died again here again. So that part's done there. Oops. This part's done. I'm just gonna mark it with a paint pen here, saying that I did tighten these guys here. All right, and then let me just show you how it looks like here. So yeah, the newer bolts are now marked that I tighten them. You got the other 3 bolts that actually bolt onto the motor there. I am missing a bolt here and here, so I'm gonna have to find those, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get those later. Now, technically, you can get away and reassemble the back part here, but I'm not gonna do that for today. What I'm gonna do is just put the head on and then worry about this back part here later. But I do have the parts for that also for it here. It's just that when you have the back part, you kind of need the head, because the head has this return in the back here where it's supposed to connect basically to here. So I just know the water flow is the cold water goes in here from the radiator, circulates through the block, hot water exits out here, and it goes back into the radiator, to the pump, and then back into the radiator, that type of deal. But yeah, that's how it kind of goes. So yeah, let me go ahead and get the stuff for and this is the gaskets again for the rest of the water pump too, which I'll probably do another part video for the cooling. So yeah, so that's that there here. And then I'm looking on my phone here to see. All right, so then install oil dipstick guide. So I'm gonna do the new dipstick guide here too here. So this is a dipstick guide here, and I bet you, how does it go? Ha! I think, how does it go here? Oh, it goes like this. That's funny. Okay, well, the thing is, this bolt's supposed to go on that side there, so screw it. So I got the extra bolt here, so I think I'm good. Just gonna put that bolt in here then instead. So I'm gonna install the dipstick guide here too also. It says to replace the O-ring, so I'm gonna replace this O-ring right here. I have a little knife type of deal I can use, or a toothpick helps. So let's go ahead and get that going here. And it does, the water pump comes with this here too, little O-ring here too for it. So let's go ahead and get that going here. Or I think this O-ring's too big. It might be the O-ring for this. Oh, no, this is the O-ring for this one. This O-ring right here will come from my gasket kit that I got, the Itm Gasket Kit here. So let's put that right here for now. Itm Gasket Kits. Let's see where that little O-ring's at here. So this Itm Gasket Kit comes with a bunch of gaskets, but they don't really label the stuff, so you kind of have to figure out which gaskets are which. But I have this guy here with a bunch of little gaskets here, so I'm thinking one of these guys is probably the one for this guy here. I'm thinking. I'm not so sure. We'll see here. Yeah, because I don't have anything else here that I'm looking through that could technically be the gaskets here. Yep. Okay. Well, let's alright. No biggie, I guess. Alright. So what I'm going to use is this little O-ring gaskets. So I'm going to do that right here right now. And get that going here. I'm going to pull out the gaskets and all the mess here too here. So I'm going to do that right now here. Just pulling out the gasket on the O-ring here. Alright, so let's move it to this side here. Okay, so you guys can see here better. Alright, there we go. Alright, so go ahead and just deal with this part here too here. Move this one to the side here. I think we're done with this one here. Alright, so this one here too here. Alright, so open up this one here. Let's just see which O-rings it's needing. That's a bit too big here. Let's see, I think, no, this one's a bit too big, I believe, yep. A bit too big here. Those are all the other O-rings here. Doesn't really show, but I'm thinking it's this one here, honestly. Possibly. Because the others are kind of a lot smaller too, and they kind of come in four, so I'm going to assume that this is for something else. So yeah, and these are the big ones for some other stuff here too that obviously do not fit around it. But like I said, these gaskets, they came with the Itm Gasket Kit, the whole engine kit basically. Yeah, this is too big here too also. Yeah, it won't fit. Nope, it's too big. Alright, I bet you that goes onto here too. Yep, it does. So that's the extra gun here too here. Alright, so I believe it's this one here, so I'm going to go ahead and just remove that one off the little plug here. I might just use a screwdriver. Unfortunately, I left my little needle nose pry stuff at the warehouse. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull this out here like so here. Okay, and it's already cracked, so it's very hard too. Like it's a hard piece of rubber, so it was time for a replacement here. I'm going to go ahead and just dip this in oil here just to make it easier to slide in and out. There you go. There you go. So that's that there. Not the best looking gasket honestly, but it'll do. And I'm going to go ahead and just clean this all off here too here. Okay, so that's what the gasket looks like right here. Not the greatest, but I think it'll work. If not, I can always go to leave that right there. Probably auto parts store and replace the gasket. It's not too hard to remove the oil dipstick once it's in the motor and all that good stuff anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna use brake cleaner real quickly just to clean off the put this right here, just to kind of clean this off a bit better here. Alright. So go ahead and just do that here. Alright. I have work later, so I might have to cut this short too. Also, work's been pretty busy with all the COVID stuff going on, so y'all be careful out there. It's definitely a lot more crazier and busier in the hospitals and in the ER because of what's going on. Alright, so this looks good. That's clean enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and get this going here. Alright, so I'm going to move it again to this side here so y'all can see better here. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see that better. There you go. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is remove this part, put this bolt like another side over here, and then use again this one that came with it for this side here. So, yep. Let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so I have to undo this, tighten this, undo this guy here first. Let's put him onto this side here. Okay. Okay, and then put the dipstick in here. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on this side here just so that it goes in smoothly with the oil going like so here. There you go. Pops right in nicely. This thing will connect to the oil pump here. Oh, let's go ahead and fix that up here real quickly here. All right, there you go. Okay, so it went in really nice and smooth here. Really sweet. All right, so now time to tighten both of these guys. So I'm gonna tighten up this side here. Okay. And this I'm gonna tighten up here too next here. All right. Okay, so it's nice and tight. Again, like I said, it doesn't need to be like super duper tight. This hand tight is enough. They said again 11 foot-pounds, but honestly, hand tight is probably good enough for this. Sorry, so I marked this guy there here too. The paint pen. All right, so everyone's all nice and tightened up there. So that part's all good there. I'll put my dipstick on here too here, just to kind of keep everything all nice and covered here. Okay, there we go. That's that there. And next, I'm gonna go ahead is, let's see here. All right, so now, like I said, this part, you know, you can start installing the rest of the coolant, but honestly, it's best to install the head first because the head has a return back here where it connects back to here. So it's a lot easier if you have the head on than worry about this part, in my opinion, from experience. So now it's time to install the head, which I'm gonna go look on my cell phone and see the head install. And I'm gonna be putting ARP head studs, not not the stock Toyota head bolts. The reason why I'm doing ARP studs is because it's stronger than stock, and the Toyota head bolts are yield to torque, so you have to stretch out the bolts on the Toyota head bolts. So like if you ever have to remove the head again, you're going to need to buy new head bolts again from Toyota, because since you stretch out their bolts already, they're technically weaker. You know, you can't reuse head bolts, but ARP bolts you definitely can here. So yeah, installation of cylinder head, okay. Let's just see here if they have it here. Okay, so let's just see here. Install the engine hangers, okay, blah blah. Install cylinder head. Okay, so I got it here for it. Let's see here. I might just end this actually short because I have to kind of read up some things here. And it's almost 12 o'clock, I believe. Oh, it's 11:30. Okay, well, I'm just going to end it here for now. This is part 4 in basically installing the water pump. But you can see here how I did it. Pretty much I installed this whole pump with the housing. There's an O-ring that goes behind here. Make sure you install that first. And then I marked off the bolts here. I am missing a bolt here though, which I will get. But just keep the video kind of short and sweet. I'm going to just leave it like this, and I'll do part 5 on the head installation. So we'll just leave it like that there. But that's pretty much it there so far. Again, I'm just taking my time on this, unedited raw type of deal. So hopefully y'all will you know, get a better understanding on how to assemble a motor and get some tips and tricks from this. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Part 5 will be hopefully the cylinder head installation. I'm just going to read some things on ARP and all that good stuff. But that's pretty much it for today. All right, thanks. Bye.